Hello and welcome to another episode of Closing Deals and Heels. I'm your host, Kayla Hodges, and today we have a very special episode because if you are a young woman and you're looking to get into sales, I have a very incredible young woman that has paved the way in her industry and is now being sent on all these trips and stuff. So super cool. Sydney Castillo is 21 years old. And she started in sales, in car sales, about a little over a year ago. And not only did she have no idea what she was doing when she first started, but now she's kicking ass and setting records and going to places because her job loves her so much. And they're sending her for on-site training because she's doing so well. So Miss Sydney, hello, Queen. Hi.
Hello.
I hope I introduced you well.
Yes, thank you. That was so sweet.
So give us a little background about you and like, why did you even get into sales in the first place? Like what caused you to be like, I want to go into car sales?
So it's actually kind of funny. I never really chose to go into car sales. I kind of got scouted out from my previous job before. So I consider myself have doing sales since I was in Girl Scouts. My sister was on the side of a R.E.D parking lot trying to sell Girl Scout cookies. My mom was with us and I was there and I kept running up to people like, you want Thin Mints? Do you want Thin Mints? And she was like, hey, you got to get out there and just start, selling the cookies to these people. So she kind of told me, she was like, I always knew this little spark was in you, but I didn't really know it until I was 17. I started working at a car wash. Okay. And we did really, really small scale sales, just monthly memberships, wash packages and stuff. And the general manager at this dealership actually came through and he got a car wash. So I sold him a membership and he was like, I like you. I want you to come work for me. And I was like, okay, who are you? Where do you work? What's going on? He's like, I'm the general manager at Cadillac down the road. We sell cars. Come sell cars with us. So the rest was history. I literally went the next day.
Whoa. You're telling me I went through a car wash.
Yeah. Went from car wash to car sales.
To car sales. Okay, there you go.
Yeah,
hey, it's hard to get a job at some of these car dealerships.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty difficult.
I've seen a lot of turnover.
Yeah, I interviewed for car sales when I was about your age. I didn't get the job. They wouldn't give me the job.
Really?
Isn't that crazy? Yeah.
Yeah, that is crazy.
For Audi, I'm like, Audi, I'm going to come in and train your reps one day. It's going to be great. But this is a really good, beautiful moment of opportunity because you could have said no.
I know. Yeah, I totally could have. But I kind of felt honored a little bit. I was like, he saw something in me that I don't see in myself. Yeah. And it's time to wake that up, So I kind of just walked in there the next day. I started a couple weeks later. I had to put my 2 weeks in, at the car wash. But yeah, I just started the next day, sold my first car at 19 and, now I'm, having my record months. So
so let's go back. So you walk in your first day, you start sales, and I'm sure it's a way different than membership sales.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was crazy.
What were 3 things that you were like, oh God, I wasn't expecting this?
Well, one, there's more than one car that you have to know. You have to know every single, make and model that they have. You have to know the previous years before that and, the new ones coming. So it was just paralyzingly overwhelming. I was like, there is no way I'm going to know all this stuff. And all these people are asking me all these questions, about cars and I don't know anything. I was like, I just threw them through the wash. So it was just I got really nervous that I was one with people that were twice my age. They all looked at me like, who's this little girl walking in here? What does she think she's about to do? Every single person in my dealership put bets on when I would quit. And I kind of told them, give me that money because I'm still here. So
beautiful. Yeah. Okay. So when did it change for you? Because I know, so you came in and then you started working with us, in our program as well. And I remember one of our reps came up to me and they're like, we have this girl, she's 20 years old and she's coming in hot and she's killing it right now. And she's trying to work her butt off and make it happen for herself. And I was like, what? And she said that she was in car sales, which typically I don't see somebody in a higher end dealership sales that's that young. So you're absolutely right. So that makes sense with the car wash story now.
Yeah, right.
So what was it for you, like when you were in the day-to-day where you felt like, man, like it's not working out the way I wanted it to? Like what was like, did something happen, or was it
It
just every
was,
single day not getting it? What was going on?
yeah, I mean, it was like a combination of things, honestly. It was the fact that I didn't feel confident in what I was doing. I had in the back of my head the whole time, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. And I had people
Self-fulfilling
come in.
prophecy.
No, literally. Yeah. I was like, this is not helping me. But yeah, it was like people just, coming in, test driving a car. I would just give them the keys and I'm like, okay, yeah, how was it? And they're like, I'm going to think about it. And I'm like, sweet, me too. Like, carry on. Like I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't know
Yeah.
the questions to ask. I didn't know the problems people had like in cars. Like I had literally had one car, at the time. So it was just a lot. I was like, what the heck is this? What am I doing?
Okay.
But yeah, my pivotal moment was probably like maybe like 2 or maybe like 1 or 2, 3 even months into Elite Saleswoman that I was like, oh my gosh, I do got this. Like I can do this. You
So
guys
before
kind of opened up.
closing sales though, right? Or like what was happening with the car sales? Like,
So when I first started, I mean, it's very different based on everybody's like individual dealership. They had me set on like kind of like a little guarantee at the moment.
yes.
So like I, obviously wasn't like these other people selling 2, 3 cars a day, whatever. It was basically just like I wasn't like producing. I wasn't making money. I didn't have anything going for me, and I was like, oh my gosh, I just threw away this stable job at the car wash with an hourly pay for some commission job, and I had no clue what was gonna happen. But yeah.
So you weren't closing any sales?
Like barely, maybe like 1 or 2, 3 a month. Yeah.
Okay, geez. And then you got off the guarantee, so you were fully commissioned at that point?
Yep.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so that was like when it was like, oh shit. Like,
yeah, that's when I was like, I need to hustle.
okay. And then you joined Elite Saleswomen. Was it like
Yeah.
right after you got off the commissions, or?
That was, so I was probably off the commissions or off the guarantee for like 5, 6 months. And I was like, this is not good.
And you stayed?
Yeah.
Okay, so this says a lot about you. A lot of people, a lot of women especially, without feeling safe,
Oh yeah.
like they don't stay somewhere. So the fact that you're telling me that you stayed after 5, 6 months of not making really a lot of sales at all, and then again, not only that, then you invested in a
Then I
program,
invested.
right? Then you paid out a lot of money, right, to like
Yeah.
find a way to learn how to do this, and then you put your head down. Now, what specific skill, sales wise, do you feel like you were missing that now led you to have your best months?
I feel like honestly control. Like
Okay.
control in the aspect of like my tone, my like mindset, the the way that I can actually like talk to people and like I go about it a little differently now, like I approach them differently than like, what you coming here for? Okay, let me pull it up right now. Let's go. Like you got to kind of sit down with people and have a conversation. And it kind of like, I've built a little bit more respect, not only for like myself, but like the
Yes.
relationship that, I am building with a prospect. So I feel like control and like slowing down has been like my biggest takeaway.
Yeah. Well, let's go into the relationship that you have with yourself, the respect for yourself. What did you do in order to feel like you gained that respect for yourself and that you see yourself in a different way?
I really just had to like hone down and slow down like so much. I'm such like a hyper person. Like I very much am like go, 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 go. But I didn't like know until doing this program that that's like a super masculine trait,
Okay.
to just like push through that like crazy kind of pressure. So now I've kind of like learned to just like take deep breaths on my own. I've got
Yes.
my what is it called? I always forget what it's called. The invocation.
Okay, what's your invocation?
It's just like my, my little kind of like self-talk down, self-mental prep to just kind of get grounded before I'm talking to somebody
Yes.
or before I'm, going to get numbers for somebody. I'm usually just like, okay, I got this. And then I'm walking, to the manager's desk and I'm thinking of the 5 other deals I have going on. You can't bring that energy with you. Like you say, it transfers, through your prospects, through your sales conversations, everything.
Yes.
I've learned to just like feel what I'm feeling right now, end that feeling, carry it on to the next, just to be complete in like not only my emotions, but just like my sales processes, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it makes sense for me. For anyone that's listening that doesn't understand what she's talking about. So in a sales conversation, you are transferring your energy to the person you're talking to, right? I'm trying to get them to change their mind in the best way, getting them to help solve a problem or emotional need that they have. And sometimes if you're like Sydney and you're walking around with a million things going on in your brain of like, crap, I need to do this, I need to do that, this is going on at home, yada, yada. It's really hard for you to be present and like be at a place where you're grounded so that you can help this person like be influenced by you. So we have like ways where you can talk down yourself or like do breath work or something to get grounded so that you don't bring in all that extra crap to the conversation and mess it up for yourself. So I think that's really, really incredible that you talk about it. And more women need to talk about it more. You talked about being in your feminine energy versus in masculine all day long. Like what unique strengths do you feel like women bring to car sales that you've leveraged so far?
Well, first of all, I feel like, I mean, this I guess could be kind of like taken as like a personal thing. I feel like women are just 10 times more understanding.
Yes.
We can be kind of just like calm and, we're very intuitive. We can kind of pick up on things when people are saying, oh, I don't really like that. And we're like, hold on, let's talk about that again one more time. Like, I think there was still something there, And men, I mean, it could be different based on the actual individual person, but men just brush through that kind of stuff and they're just like, okay, here's your payment. Let's go. They just don't care too much about the problem and the solution and like how to build that kind of connection with somebody,
I think that I'm really proud. I'm just like watching you right now versus even just a few months ago and this how you're carrying yourself. It's so good. It's like that you're it. You know what I mean? And I think that sometimes, I think you having the outside world saying that you're not where you want to be is hard, trying to convince the inside world that you are. And now your outside world is starting to match the inside world. So there's like this new level of confidence about you because you're like, hell yeah, I'm freaking doing the damn thing.
Right. Thank you. Thank you.
How have you had any like difficult situations with customers or difficult situations just because you're a woman where somebody comes in or they see that you're young and they're like, oh, like, can I talk to like your manager or something? Has anything that?
Like all the time. Okay. I've had people, I just like, I'll walk right up to them in the showroom, they're just looking at a car and they're like, oh, they're like, look at me and they like look behind themselves. They're like, I need a salesperson. I'm like, yeah, my name is Sydney. I'm in sales. Like, let's go talk it out. They're like, I need a man. They're like, you're not going to give me a good deal. You don't know what you're talking about. I was like, I let myself get really upset about that for a while. But you know what? Then when it happened again, and then this third time, I was like, okay, this is just, I'm sick of this,
What did you say?
I literally just like stared at them. I was like, I said, I can definitely still give you a good deal, but, like it's kind of sometimes like if somebody gives you that, like, I don't want to work with you. It's like, I don't want to, earn your business anyway. If you're just going to be,
I don't know, maybe you could be a little playful with that. Like if somebody was like, oh yeah, you're not a man, you're not going to give me a good deal. I'm like, yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm really not that cool. Probably wouldn't be able to sweet talk my boss to be able to get you a better deal. But you're right.
Right. Let me get you a man. Yeah. Right.
Let me give you one of them.
Yeah, I totally should have. I was just like
a little bit of playful with it. I think that you could see that. Yeah,
I think I could too.
Not that cool. I probably couldn't sweet talk my boss into giving you a better deal, but yeah, you're sure. I'll go get somebody else. Are you sure that's what you want to do?
Right. They'd be like, wait.
Yeah. Write that down.
Yeah, totally.
I wouldn't be able to sweet talk my boss, but you're right. I'll go get someone else. Are you sure that's really what you want to do?
Sure. You want? Yeah. Yeah. People would just kind of look at me and they're like, "Oh, you're really young. Like, there's no way you know about anything like this." And it's just like, well, I kind of get to tell them like, well, I started when I was 19 and I'm 21 now. So I always say I got a couple years under my belt, but
Oh
I
my
got like
gosh.
a year and a half or a couple months.
I love it. I think that, you being playful and being silly and stuff, or be like, yeah, my Botox is really working. I'm actually 40. So,
Right. I just so
but
use that.
playful energy, I'm telling you, helps disarm people that are still like,
Disarm.
yeah, just like, you know what? Yeah, like I'm
I'm
actually
using
starting
that.
next week. I guess my Botox is working,
Right. That's
Okay.
genius.
What's one lesson that you've learned in sales though that's applied to your life outside of work?
Probably that it's important to, well, I'm a person that doesn't say no easily. So this has not only helped me in sales conversations to say no to people, but like in personal life too. And when I say no, it's not like turning a deal down. It's more so like people being like, oh, can I have like, this extra, or can I have this much money off? They start like asking for different things. And, at a certain point that kind of cuts into what you make on the deal. So you kind of have to, you kind of got to be strong sometimes
You
and
own your
like,
boundaries.
yeah, exactly. You've got to like hold your ground, own your boundaries. And that has transferred in my personal life so much too. Like I always feel so bad for telling my friends like, no, I don't want to go out and party and hang out. But now I'm just like, no, I'm tired. I'm not going. I'm going to be at home with my cats. Thank you very much.
Oh my gosh. You are 40. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. I think that sometimes when we grow, we have different priorities that start to change, and who we want to be in the identity of stepping into that woman. Her behavior is different. She doesn't want to go out as much. She doesn't want to do things that don't serve her. She's also not escaping, right? And
Yeah.
do I think that it's wrong to go out and party? No, like go have fun,
Right.
live your life. However, but if you feel like in your body, you're like, I really don't want to do that right now, and you're able to tell people your truth, like that's so important versus forcing
Yeah.
yourself because you want people to like you.
Exactly. Yeah, I've always been a people pleaser, but now I'm a Sydney pleaser.
Yes. What do you see as the future for women in car sales? Like, do
I
you
I
feel
think
like
we'll
there's a
take it
shift?
over.
Okay, one more time. Take over
I
what?
think we'll take it over 100%. I've
Love.
got there's only like 4 or 5 of us. Well, actually there's like a pretty good number of like women at my dealership right now, and we just kind of got to stick together. We got to bring each other up and not let, the little things tear us down. We like to, get together a little bit and just have little like pep talks, motivational talks. I always try to give them a little bit of 2 cents, like, come on, we got this, get that mindset out of here, like let's pick it up and take it over. But I think every single year, at least at my store, the top salesperson has been a guy. The top two has been a guy. This year we're taking over, ladies. We're gonna get up on that record sales thing for like the district. And yeah, we just kind of got to stick together.
Hell
I
yeah.
think there's a good future for women in car sales. You just got to get out there and do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that you hit the nail on the head with the mindset thing. So like something that's really important to us is like working on your skill set and the mindset at the same time. Like
Yeah.
that's really the basis of even like elite saleswomen. We're like, hey, like we need to do the internal work so that we can step into this powerful version of ourselves that believes that we're capable while we're practicing our skills every day in sales.
Yeah.
Where was your like biggest like mindset shift? Like where did it all kind of even out? Was it like you believed in yourself and you worked on your mindset and then you saw results, or was it you saw results and then you saw that, or what did you think that you did that really helped you develop into this woman
I
now?
think I feel like it was probably the first couple of times I used like the R.E.D method in selling that I was super nervous at first because I'm like, oh my gosh, is this going to work? Is this going to, are people going to actually want to talk about their problems and like, work on something together? Because like in car sales, a lot of the times people think you're working for them, but I like to work together with
Yes,
people.
collaborative.
Yeah, right. So I really think it was kind of like a combination of me feeling like, you know what, I do have this and I've got this and I've practiced and I'm ready to go, you know, and I kind of executed it and it works. And, you know, I just think it was like kind of the combination of everything together, just putting it all into play kind of made me think like, oh my gosh, here we go.
And you went from 1 sale a month to, what was your top month so far?
Like 15.
15. Yeah. So basically 15 times more than you did at the beginning.
Yeah, which I've definitely got plenty of work to do, but for being in car sales for a year and having no, you know, book of business, no years of, you know, repeat customers, I'm not doing too bad.
I know I'm getting a crazy amount of leads every day too. So you're like working the, know, and making it happen. So I'm really proud of you. I think that you stepping up and then also stepping into your leadership with the other women there and giving permission to them to step into that is great. Yep. And the fact that you're being recognized right now. So talk about that. So like they're flying you to Vegas, right? To do what?
So they are coming out with an electric Escalade. If you can, you know, like a Cadillac Escalade, those big old cars. They're coming out with the electric one, and they're only sending like a handful of people from our dealership to go down, or over to Vegas. And to have like a sales training, and we're staying at like a really fancy like place, and it's going to be just like a day or two, but you get asked to go based on performance, and I'm going with all of the, you know, very top dogs at my store. So it was kind of like, I was like, oh my gosh, like me, like, are you serious? Like, I thought they were joking at first because I was like, there's no way. Like, I've only been here for like a year. Like, how am I allowed to go? And they're like, you're going.
Oh my God. Hell yeah.
They call me like the little product knowledge expert. So that's another thing too with car sales. You really got to know your product.
So did you just study with flashcards or what did you do?
Really, honestly, what I did when I first started my first couple of weeks, they told me, take a key to every single car, go out there and click all the buttons. So that's what I did. I literally sat in the cars and I picked them apart. You just have to, you know, you have to pair your phone up, see how this works, you know, find out like what this button does, what that button does. You just got to know and get familiar with the product. And there's also like some videos you can watch from like General Motors that they've like sent us about like product knowledge. But
the fact that you went to every single car.
Every single one. I clicked every single button.
See, but that's the difference though, Sydney. It's like some people are unwilling to do the simple things that would be tedious to become who they want to be, right? And the fact you're like, whatever you want me to do, you want me to go push every button? I'll push every button. I'll take my phone. I will Bluetooth sync it up. I will try to figure it out. I will spend time in every car. But you're willing, you know, and I think that's the difference. There's so many people that are unwilling to do the uncomfortable stuff to become who they want to be. And again, and then you're humble with it. You're like, I'm not even close to where I want to go.
Oh yeah.
Right? You're just tapping the surface. And that's the most beautiful thing, is just not losing the hunger and knowing that you're capable of so much more, but still acknowledging yourself and being proud of yourself for where you started, you know?
Right. Yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah, I've come a long way, but I got a long way to go.
Girl, acknowledging yourself and being freaking proud of yourself. Like most people, they don't do what you do. Most people would have quit.
Right. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
They would have quit, you know? And then now you're like getting rewarded. I love it. And you're probably going to be the youngest person on that trip, which is going to be the best part.
Oh yeah, I know. It's going to be interesting.
Hi guys. I'm like, no, I'm not their daughter. I'm here.
No, literally, they're like, whose kid is here?
Oh, great.
It's just me, Sydney in sales.
Sydney in sales. Okay. What about like a woman that like wants to go into the car industry? What advice would you give her if she's considering to do that? Like, how can she stand out in the industry?
I would first and foremost say, do not get discouraged. It's a very like intense kind of sales job. I would say it involves a lot from you and very little from, you know, like anybody else. Like when you're the salesperson, you've got to do all the work, but you've got to be excited about it. Like you can't go in selling cars if you don't love cars. Like, you know, you got to be ready for that product. You got to get the customer excited. You got to be excited yourself. And you really just kind of, people always say, put your head down, but I say like, keep your head up. Like, you know, don't just like kind of hide away in the shadows. You've got to like stand out and be like, I'm the one who's here. You know, I'm taking this customer who's just walking the lot, or that phone that rang, like be the first one to grab it. You just got to be hungry. Yeah.
It definitely sets you apart for sure.
Yeah.
And what about a woman that's listening to this right now, and maybe she's in car sales right now and she's having a rough time and she's like, man, I'm trying to put all the work, I'm trying to do all the things, it's just not working. Like, do you have a piece of advice for her?
I feel like it's, again, you can't get discouraged. That mindset can be so toxic sometimes if you're like, it's not working out. If you're like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been like that. Like last month or even earlier this month, I was like, oh my gosh, nothing's going to work out. This is going to be my worst month, blah, blah, blah. But you cannot do that. You can manifest that, like you can't put that kind of stuff out there. You've just got to say, you know what, I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to get it together. If it's the last week of the month and you really got nothing working out, it's okay. Like next month is going to be the one, or tomorrow's going to be the day, it's just the opportunity's there. You just got to get it sometimes. It's hard to make those phone calls. You don't want to do it, but those little tags, call the damn leads. You just got to call them.
Yes.
The
hunger is all about you. I think that's so important, and taking responsibility. You speaking negatively out loud does come to fruition. So making sure that you're not a self-fulfilling prophecy. What about if another woman was considering coming into R.E.D and being a part of R.E.D and wanting to be a part of the women, and she's like, oh, I don't know if something like that would help me. What would you say to her?
You will have no idea how much it'll help you until you do it, kind of thing. I didn't think I needed a group of 10 to 20 women every day sharing their experiences, sharing that they've had a flaw too, all of us getting together and just kind of surrendering, and being like, I'm right here in my life, but I want to be here, and everybody's at such different stages. It's just really beautiful. You've got to do it. You've got to. It's just the motivation and the mental clarity that I had no idea that I needed. It's way more than just sales in this program. It's sisterhood.
It's sisterhood, and it's about changing the perspective of your life. And there's a last question I have for you. If you were going to go back and tell Sydney on her very first day of car sales, when she was like, what the hell am I doing? What piece of advice would you give her so that she makes it to wherever you're going?
I would just say, hang on tight, just keep your head up and keep muscling through.
Hustling through.
Hustle, bustle, keep it going.
Sydney sales, that's what you hustling through.
Sydney sales, yes. You just got to keep going. You cannot look down. Can't look back. Can't look down. Just straight forward and up. Truly.
My experience of you, Sydney, from when I first met you to now is just there's a fire that's lit up in you, and you're unwavering. You seem very sure of yourself. You didn't before. So I'm just so proud of all the work that you've done behind the scenes. It's definitely rewarded in public for what you've practiced in private. You can tell that you've done a lot of freaking work. So I'm just really proud of you. And I'm really excited where you're going and what's next. I'm Vegas, baby. And all the things, when are we doing a 30 car month? It's happening. I'm just really
crazy.
Excited. You deserve it. You're going to probably burn that store one day if that's what you want. You definitely have the ability to step into that.
Thank you. I credit you, Kayla.
I love it. All right, babe. Anything else that you want to tell anyone that's listening?
I don't have anything on my mind other than take that leap of faith. And, when you're scared, it means something. If you have that, anxious, tingling feeling in your chest, it means that there's something so great right in front of you. You just have to keep pushing through. You just got to keep going,
Yeah, when you're scared, you're growing. I love it. Yes.
Keep going and keep growing.
All right, ladies, if you watched this and you felt like it resonated with you, please make sure that you comment on this video. You can go follow Sydney. Sydney, what's your Instagram?
My Instagram is just my first and last name, Sydney Castillenti. And I do also have a work Facebook account. It's called Sydney.showroom.
Perfect. And Castillenti, you can look at the spelling on this episode. If you're just listening to this in the car, it's Castillenti. We had to get practice to make sure I said her name right.
Yes, we love the Italians.
Yes, exactly. And we will see you all on the very next episode. Thank you, Sydney, for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me, Kayla.